I'm Dr. Karen with Embrace Life Ohm and Mother Core, and this is an introduction to our series on light and your health. In this introduction, I'm going to talk about what light is and how our light environment has been changing due to both natural and human activities. So light is created whenever an electron accelerates. And this accelerating electron produces a changing electric field, which I'm going to represent with this battery. As you remember from high school physics, a changing electric field induces a changing magnetic field. The changing magnetic field, in turn, induces another changing electric field, which induces another changing magnetic field, and so on and so forth, creating a propagating light wave. And there are different ways that electrons can accelerate. Sometimes they produce slowly changing electric and magnetic fields. That gives us a long wavelength wave, or what we also call a low frequency wave, because there are few numbers of changes per second. Alternatively, we can get a quickly changing electric and magnetic fields. This produces a shorter wavelength wave or a high frequency wave with a lot of energy passing per second. Now, how we interact with light is very dependent on the wavelength or frequency. For example, when we look at visible light, the low wavelength appears red, orange, and yellow, whereas the higher wavelengths are green, blue, and violet, with each exact wavelength corresponding to an exact color. When we perceive white light, we're perceiving a mix of the longer and shorter wavelengths. When we send that light through a prism, we can see that it's actually made up of the longer wavelength red, orange, and yellow lights, and the shorter wavelength blue and violet lights. This is true if we're seeing white light from the sun, as in this demonstration, or if we're getting white light from a light bulb, although there are some important differences between those two light sources. There is also light with wavelengths too short or too long for us to see visibly. The wavelengths that are too short include UV, X-ray, and gamma rays, whereas the wavelengths that are too long are infrared, radio waves, which include microwaves, low frequency radiation, and extra low frequency radiation. All of this light is produced naturally. In addition to producing visible light, the sun produces X-rays, UV, infrared, and radio waves. We get gamma rays from outer space when there's supernova explosions, and also from rocks when there's radioactive decay. And we get extra low frequency light when lightning strikes the earth and sets up reverberations in the atmosphere, creating the famous Schumann resonance. In addition, everything on Earth creates its own light. The activity of our brains, hearts, muscles, and other systems create low frequency light, and every living creature creates low levels of its own visible and UV light, which is called biophotons. So we're constantly receiving light from everything and everyone, and we're constantly sending our own light out to the rest of the universe. And when there's changes in the light that we receive, we can see it in our health and behavior. For example, when the sun goes through a solar spot cycle, it changes the amount of light from the sun that's reaching the Earth's surface, and that changes human health and behavior. And human behaviors themselves have created a lot of changes to the light that we receive. For example, our built environment blocks the full access to the sun's rays, and this creates a disease in children known as rickets, when the bones don't develop properly because of lack of vitamin D. We found that we could cure rickets by putting vitamin D in the milk supply, but it turns out that there's a lot of other nutrients that we get from the sun, and that lack of those nutrients because of sun blockage by our built environment causes higher rates of a number of diseases, including nearsightedness, cancer, mental health problems, and other diseases that we will cover in detail in this series. In addition to blocking light, we've been creating a lot of our own artificial light. Artificial lighting at night from electric lights offsets our circadian rhythm and severely hurts our ability to rest and repair at the end of the day. In addition, all of our cell phones, radios, microwave ovens, Wi-Fi devices, Bluetooth, and a list of other wireless devices has vastly increased the amount of microwave radiation that we are exposed to on a day in and day out basis. In this series, we're going to be going through each part of this light spectrum in detail, how the changes in this light is affecting our health, and what you can do to reduce the negative impacts on yourself and your family. Thanks for watching.